The importance of this meeting today, which we are having here with the Chamber of Commerce of Hyderabad, is a process to strengthen trade and investment relations between the state of Hyderabad. The purpose of this meeting today is to strengthen trade and investment relations between South Africa and India, but between the Chamber of Commerce of Hyderabad and South African business. We want to take these relations to a higher level. We are therefore here to expose businesses in Hyderabad, Uttar Pradesh, to opportunities that are in abundance in South Africa. We are here to inform them about possible processes and procedure to follow if they want to have their investments in South Africa. We are here also to inform them about the strategic location of South Africa on the African continent and on Southern Africa. So we are making a case for South Africa, for Southern Africa, as well as for the African continent. Because the country, the sub-region, and the continent have got vast resources in advance, which Indian businesses can take advantage of. For instance, as we all know that gold is the biggest import for India, which comes from South Africa, and that South African coal is the second export to India. Is a second export. South African coal is a second export to India. Now, given a situation that the Indian economy is one of the highest consumers of coal, we want to increase the export of coal from South Africa to India, so as also to boost the industries of India, so that the India's economy can thrive. So in the main, that is the purpose of why we're here. We're also here to brief Indian businesses about the advanced stage in negotiations for the signing of the South African Customs Union, SACU's preferential agreement. SACU preferential agreement will advantage both India and South Africa and Southern Africa as a whole, in that specific products from both countries will be guaranteed concessions, such as lower tariffs. Now, I will say that Indian businesses in South Africa enjoy more advantage than South African businesses doing business in India, in a sense that India being a federal state, the movement of South African goods from one state to another, being subjected to various forms of tariffs and taxation, as compared to Indian goods which are in South Africa, which are not subjected, because South Africa is a unitary state. Whenever Indian goods move from one state to another, they do so free of charge. They're not being charged. So that such high taxation and high tariffs act as a disincentive to South African business. And here I'm raising the element, the principle of reciprocity. That what is good for the gander must be good. What is good for the goose must be good for the gander. So that is a case that we're making. We're making a case that India and South Africa enjoy a special historic bond. You know, the largest population of Indians outside of the Indian continent, out of India itself, resides in South Africa. But we're saying that we must take advantage of those historic relations, which obviously are symbolized by the great Mahatma Gandhi ji, as well as Nelson Mandela ji. That we need to take these relations to a higher level so as to improve the lives of our people for the better. We are also here to indicate to them that South Africa is a tourist destination. The scenery, beautiful scenery of South Africa, the flora and fauna. But above all, for Indians, Indians can enjoy more than just pleasure and leisure tourism. They can also enjoy historic tourism. In Johannesburg, for instance, they can visit a prison where Mahatma Gandhi ji was imprisoned when he was there. And at a later stage, Nelson Mandela ji was also imprisoned there before he was sentenced to life imprisonment. It's a very, very important heritage site to visit in South Africa for Indians to be able to reconnect with their own history. Because India's history is incomplete without the history of Indians in South Africa. Indians can also visit the Gandhi Square, where out of India, there exists Gandhi Square. It's in South Africa. Indians can also fulfill their spiritual needs because South Africa has got temples, has got mosques, and has got churches. So South Africa has got more to offer. We want to increase the volume of tourism, of Indian tourists, which today stands at about 120,000. I mean, from a population of 1.2 billion plus million. I mean, 1.2 billion. To have 120,000 tourists from India, whilst it is a cause for celebration, but also, I think we'll agree that more has to be done. We would like to realize a situation where hundreds of millions of Indians go back to South Africa to reconnect with their other roots, their other dimension. So that, in a nutshell, is the reason why we're here. We have been moving from state to state, so we want to arrive at a situation where a number of bilateral agreements, which number close to 52 plus, between India and South Africa, achieve practical implementation. They become concretized on the ground so that both countries can be able to deal with the challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality, of homelessness, of illiteracy, of hunger, of disease. So that is our mission.